Hey guys, Kahare here, and today we are going to talk about the new hotness in the Japanese version of Tagatame, nensous. Now, first off, what is a nensou? I think the easiest way to think about a nensou is as a very specialized piece of gear. You can see here I have Laharl, and he is equipped with a Seraphina nensou, and what this does is it provides additional dexterity to any unit that uses it, and then the Disgaea units that use it also get a buff to their HP, and they get a buff to the damage that fire does to wind units. There are a lot of different nensous, and as you can see from the images of the ones I have here, each one sort of focuses on a unit or a specific set of units. For example, that top left one is often called the main character nensou. It is designed for Logi and Diaz. Obviously, the most important part starting off is that some of the nensous unlock unique skins. This one in particular opens up the opportunity to use a young Vettel skin. Now that we've got the most important part out of the way, the next portion is stat enhancements. So here we have Vettels, and you can see it starts off with plus 10 physical attack, and then plus 21 physical attack and plus 21 physical defense. Now, that first one, the plus 10 attack, is available to any unit that uses this. The second part is only available to the small set of units that are part of Untitled Chapter of the Babel side story. And then that final one only adds physical defense to Vettel, Gerard, and Natalie. This is the same format that pretty much all of the nensous follow. They have a very general set of stats that apply to anyone who uses the nensou, a more specific set that provides those stat buffs to a smaller group, and then usually a final capstone that is for probably about 1 to 4 units, and usually not more than that. The nensous also frequently come with a nensou ability, if you will. It's just like a gear ability, but it's for the units that can equip the highest tier of buffs on that nensou can also receive a special attack or a special buff or heal. So obviously each nensou is designed with a specific character or group of characters in mind. Like obviously that Vettel one is designed towards the characters who feature in Vettel's side story. Now, when I said it's nice to think of nensous as a very specific piece of gear, there is one very key difference that makes nensous so awesome. And that is usually when you equip two pieces of gear that, for example, both provide HP, only the higher one counts. If you have an item with 500 HP and 300 HP, you only get 500 HP. Any stats that are on the nensou that apply to your character will be applied, regardless of if you're also getting that stat from gear. Now that we know what nensous are, obviously you want some. There is a gacha pretty much all the time that has nensous. It looks like the little postcards, and you can see some of the extra skins that are featured on here. The rates on the nensous currently are 6% to get a 5-star and 7% to get a 4-star. There are units in this gacha, so do not be surprised if a unit pops out. There's only about a 1 in 3 chance that you will get a nensou from that gacha. Now, the easiest way to level up a nensou and increase the stat buffs is to basically summon these apple ratties. We receive apple ratty tickets from events, from milestones, and so forth, and you'll be able to get them out of the gacha just like this. Also, if you do a Zenny summon times 10, you will receive 1 random apple ratty. There's actually a glitch with the gacha right now where it is not displaying 2-star ones, but the apples have a rarity of 1 to 3 stars. You're going to need a lot of these apples, so whenever you get a chance to grab them from whatever, you may want to consider it, even if it involves spending a gem or two. These are pretty much one of the only ways to get experience into nensous is by feeding other nensous to them. Now, I want to show that process and explain how it is very recently changed in the Japanese game. This is one of my preferred 3-star nensous. It is a lute. It is technically for Alaya, but she's kind of not great. It does provide 3 speed to anyone, and like I said, that stacks with other gear, so that's super cool. I already had this one leveled up to 20 out of 20, but what was recently added was an ability to both raise the level cap and get little nensou specific gear out of a nensou. Now you can see in the upper right there's a 6% along with a little music note accessory, and that is what we want. I'm going to go to the level up panel, and I'm not going to actually do this, but I'm going to show you feeding one of the lute nensous to it. And you can see we've gained that little green pip, which will give us +2 max level, and the rate towards the little accessory is 11%. Now, that is the fastest way to get that percentage up, and if you want to fully max out a nensou, you must feed 5 copies of that nensou to a nensou of the same kind. There are also kind of generic pieces that can be fed as well, and those are going to be very rare, so be very thoughtful with them. And once that percentage reaches 100%, you will get a special item unique to that nensou. I'm going to go back to the main character nensou just to show this specifically. You can see I have 5% towards this little soulstone thingy, and it is a piece of gear. It adds initial jewels, speed, jump, and slash damage correction. So that is a piece of gear that basically is removed from the nensou when it reaches 100%. If this sounds like Trust Mastery from Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, that's because it kind of is. So now for the bad news. If you do not have copies of the nensou, this is how you level them up. You put them on a character, you take them into a dungeon, and you complete that dungeon, and at the end of it, you have a chance to gain 1% towards that mastery bonus. This mastery bonus cannot be gotten if you use skip tickets on it. So you can't just like blow 100 skip tickets and get a couple of vision clarity points. So that is what you're going to have to do. So your ideal thing is you're going to ideally feed 5 copies of the nensou to itself in order to unlock an extra 10 max levels to it, and then you are going to grind the other 75% of the trust by using them on your characters. That's how it's going to be for now. We don't have any more information about other ways to gain that vision, but we basically have feeding a nensou to itself, feeding the special mechanical nensou, it's not really been fully described yet, or grinding. And it's been hypothesized that the lower the rarity of the nensou, the more likely it is to level up after a battle, but can't confirm that, not sure, it's a rumor, don't spread it like I just did, but that is how it goes. This is the screen where you would see it level up. I didn't get any level ups, of course, but basically you're pretty much always going to want your characters to be packed full of nensous, even if it's not like the best nensou for them, just so you can be leveling them up. There is an event currently ongoing, not sure how long it will be here, where you can get 1 copy of this Fiona Nensou and then an additional 20 copies of it. That is enough to fully vision master it to 100% and get that little Alchemono doll. I'm unsure if you are able to get more than 1 out of a Nensou. If you have another copy of it, you may wish to hold up to 15 extra copies of it in reserve, because that doll is pretty decent. It comes with a plus 10% magic attack damage correction, which is very good, in case you're unaware. So that wraps it up. That's Nensous. Hopefully I haven't confused you even more and actually brought some clarity. So tune in next time when I make one of these videos, and thanks so much for watching them. And I'm usually available on the Discord for questions or whatever. I'll catch you next time. Bye.